game changer when, you know.
All right. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ms. Perry, will you please call the roll for us?
Mayor Polly Berry.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Here.
Commissioner Amy Fairbanks Harvey.
Here.
Commissioner Keith Phillips.
Here.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson is absent.
All right. For today's invocation, please join me in a moment of silence to reverently collect our thoughts, pray, and ready ourselves for this meeting and the duties to which we have been called. Thank you. Mr. Granum, will you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business is consideration of the minutes for approval or correction for the January 23, 2024 work session. Any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the minutes for the January 23rd regular meeting. Any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I have a second?
No second.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. For my mayor's report, I want to be the first to congratulate our colleague, Mr. Hayes, Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson, and his wife Mindy on the birth of their second child, Nolan Wilkinson, just this morning. So that's why Commissioner Wilkinson's not able to join us today. So congratulations to their family. And happy birthday, Nolan. America's Gardens will be hosting a series of gardening workshops this spring, including a seed starting class on Saturday, February 10th and on Saturday, February 24th, and an edible landscaping class on Saturday, March 16th. Please save the date for Red Bank's third annual Weed Wrangle event, Saturday, March 2nd at the White Oak Connector Trail. More details to follow. The next Red Bank Community Food Pantry is next Thursday, February 15th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. You can sign up to volunteer at their sign-up genius at redbankfoodpantry.org. And thank you to our finance director, Mr. John Alexander, for 14 years of distinguished service. Today is his last meeting with us, and he did not... His last meeting as finance director. I'm sure we'll be seeing him around. And he not only served us well for 14 years as finance director, but also stepped up twice to serve as interim city manager when the city needed him. So we wish you a long, happy, and fulfilling retirement.
Thank you.
More on that later. And next we have our report from Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome to those of you who are with us today. Happy Black History Month. Some local highlights. Please come out and join Hive Think, co-owned by Red Bank neighbor Chris Wood, for their next coffee break, networking, and community building event. Their next event is this Friday, February 9th from 8:30 to 10 a.m. at the Barking Legs Theater, and will feature a panel discussion all about local resources for businesses, nonprofits, and creatives. Our MLK Day of Service cleanup event has been rescheduled for this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. This is in partnership with Green Steps and Be Caffeinated. There will be coffee and snacks and things like that. You can register online at greenstepschat.com/events. Starting yesterday and going through February 19th, you can round up your total price at Elders Ace Hardware here in Red Bank to support the Red Bank Community Food Pantry. So you get to shop small and support your neighbors in need at the same time. Northside Neighborhood House is in need of dress and suit donations for their prom pop-up shops at our community schools, which includes Red Bank High School. They are especially in need of plus-size donations. You can drop off donations at their thrift stores in Red Bank, the North Shore, or Soddy Daisy, and make sure you specify that they're for the prom shop. If you're looking to buy a floral arrangement for Valentine's Day, please consider shopping locally and sustainably with Red Bank business, The Happy Thistle. They are partnering with Unique Antiques, a local booth at Vintage and More on the Boulevard, to provide flowers in vintage vases. You can go to thehappythistle.com to learn more. Friendly reminder that early voting for the March 5th primary is from February 14th through February 27th. And the deadline to request an absentee ballot is also February 27th. From our schools, congratulations to Red Bank Elementary on their recent grant award from the Tennessee State Parks Conservancy that will allow them to create a storybook trail in partnership with the city of Chattanooga for an enriching outdoor reading, movement, and learning experience for students and community members. And congratulations to our Red Bank Middle School girls basketball team, who just became the Tennessee Middle School Athletic Association's Class 2A Area 7 champions. And finally, be sure to check out the city's 2024 community event calendar that was just put out today and save all the dates. We've got a ton of awesome things happening this year, including volunteer days, food truck Fridays, community movie nights, mini farmers markets, and more. I just want to send out a huge thanks. He's not here anymore, but to our Parks and Rec manager, Jeffrey Graby, for all the work that he's doing to expand and diversify our community events and programs. And I'm just really excited for what we have coming this year. And that's it. Thank you.
Next, we have our report from Commissioner Fairbanks Levy.
Thank you. Good evening. As Vice Mayor Dalton has mentioned, early voting is February 14th to the 27th. Also, if you'd like to work at the polls, it's a paid job from $135 to $175. elect.hamiltontn.gov/poll worker. The Christmas parade within the auspices of the festival board has altered the date for the Christmas parade to the second Saturday. That is December 14th this year. And there are 2 positions open for that board. I personally have 1 more year to serve, and Blake was on it for a couple of years, and it's a fun committee with which to work. The next Listen and Learn will be February 19th at Sabor for anyone that's interested in talking Red Bank. Thank you.
Next, we have a report from Commissioner Phillips.
I'd like to welcome everybody, and also the blaring being outstaged up here. I mean, I'm I don't really have a report. Thank you very much. And thanks for coming.
And Commissioner Wilkinson is absent today, and so we will go to our city manager's report with Mr. Martin Glenn.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I placed at your seats a copy of the Public Works Snow Event Report dated 22 January 2024. This excellent document speaks to the scope and magnitude of service provided by your Public Works team from 14 through 16 January, and also captures what went right and what we can do better next time. It's a very honest hot wash, as we used to say in the Air Force. As I reported at our last meeting, I salute all city staff who sustained essential services in the face of daunting inclement weather during that event. Staff from every department, Public Works, Police, Fire, Court, and City Hall, all made it in and kept essential city services functioning. Kudos to all. In a few minutes, we'll be recognizing our retiring Director of Finance and Chief Financial Officer, John Alexander. So I'll save my remarks for that time. But I also want to share that after 32 years of service, Sergeant Jay Lamance is retiring from the city of Red Bank. During his career with the city, Jay served both in the police department and the fire department, including 30 years with the police department. Jay, if you're listening, We honor your career and wish you Godspeed in your next chapter. I received a Valentine's for Veterans card this week from Operation Love, and I am grateful for the thoughtful efforts of many in this community, some of whom are here with us this evening, to share some love with veterans in our city and beyond. Speaking of Valentine's, just a reminder, Valentine's Day is approaching. And please note that the city offices will be closed on Monday, 19 February in honor of President's Day. Regarding the commission goal, quote, create a Red Bank community library and civic center, unquote, I am nearing a point in discovery where we can begin an informed conversation regarding next steps for library services. It is advisable to separate the civic center part of that goal to a separate goal for possible consideration at the upcoming retreat later this month. But we can be ready for a focused discussion of library services, next steps at our next work session. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Granum. So now we move on to unfinished business. First, we have ordinance 24-1252, an ordinance of the city of Red Bank, Tennessee to amend ordinance 23-1250, the Red Bank Employee Handbook Ordinance, codified at Appendix A to the Red Bank City Code, together with all amendments thereto. Ms. Perry, we have previously considered this. This is just some updates to our employee handbook to include some federal guidelines for nursing mothers, pregnant and nursing mothers,
Pregnant mothers, nursing mothers.
and the insurance for
allowing
65
our
and up.
employees over 65 to maintain their insurance until they do retire.
excellent.
Like our chief, police chief. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not 65. or fire chief.
We do have 2 employees that we currently appreciate that consideration.
All right, any questions or comments? Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, Ms. Perry, will you call the vote?
Mayor Barry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Yes.
Commissioner Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkinson is absent.
All right, motion carries. On to our next unfinished business. Ordinance 24-1253 is an ordinance of the city of Red Bank, Tennessee to amend the fiscal year 2024 operating budget beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024 in order to appropriate unbudgeted expenditures and loan funding in the amount of $3,498,601. Second and final reading. Mr. Alexander.
Yes, this is, we got one correction on this. Sorry. Is, that should be 110 down below in expenditures. These are the grants rollovers.
So it should read $3,498,610.
Well,
that-
yeah, no, I'm not debating those numbers. Yeah, that's what you said is correct.
Okay,
But, on the front page, it's got the expenditures listed.
okay,
121, that should be 110.
in of itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the ordinance.
Yes, the fund. So this would be general fund rollover.
All right.
And, that's it.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, Ms. Perry, will you call the vote?
Mayor Barry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Yes.
Commissioner Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkinson is absent.
Moving on to motion carries. Sorry. Moving on to new business. We have a public hearing in consideration of ordinance 24-1254, an ordinance of the city of Red Bank, Tennessee, amending the zoning ordinance and maps of this city to rezone property located at 221 Sweetland Drive from R1 residential to R3 residential. Now, we had extensive conversation about this item during our work session. And I believe the consensus of the commission was to table this to the next meeting, as well as to reschedule the public hearing to our next meeting, which is February 20th, Tuesday, February 20th. Is that accurate? So in order to give legal an opportunity to include a potential clause that may expire the rezoning after a certain amount of time without a special exceptions permit. If everyone is still in accord with that course of action, do I hear a motion to table?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. All right, any further discussion? For a vote to table, that even if it's an ordinance, is still a simple vote.
Yes.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I believe, oh no, I thought I saw the applicant earlier, but they're not here.
I think
Okay.
Mr. Pham spoke with them.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. All right, so that item has been tabled for our next meeting on February 20th. And we will move on to our next item of new business. And that is Resolution 24-1652, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, recognizing 14 years of distinguished service as the Director of Finance Department and Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Granum.
Thank you, Mayor, and I'm gonna ask Mr. Tate to come up. And I will stand here and hold this. I'll show it to the commission.
Oh.
I don't know how we got all these signatures before the resolution passed. There's magic. Yeah. Mr. Alexander, would you come up and stand here with me while Mr. Tate reads the resolution? Reluctantly. I'll be talking about this. You stand there and face the camera and we'll let Mr. Tate read it.
Whereas Mr. John Alexander began his service to the City of Red Bank as Director of the Finance Department and Chief Financial Officer on February the 10th, 2010. And whereas Mr. John Alexander has announced his retirement effective February 17th, 2024. And whereas Mr. John Alexander has been responsible for the general fund budget of over $10 million, the finances of a full-service city with 80 full-time staff, and a financial organization with an annual ending net position of nearly $19 million. And whereas during extended vacancies in the chief executive position, Mr. John Alexander was twice designated by the commission to fulfill duties of interim city manager from May 2011 through December 2012, and again from May through October 2021. And whereas, due in large measure to Mr. John Alexander's work, the Tennessee Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury awarded the City of Red Bank the budget certificate credential for the past several years. This year specifically, Red Bank is one of just 87 cities in Tennessee to earn this distinguished recognition out of a total of 346 municipalities. This acknowledgement of Red Bank's management of public finances in a responsible manner places the city in the top quarter of all cities in the state. Mr. John Alexander has ensured the city adopted budgets meeting the following specific criteria. Adopted the budget on or before the fiscal year end, filed the budget in the state specified format with the state of Tennessee within 15 days of adoption, and had no issues of concern raised during the review of the city's budget. The budget must also be based on reliable estimates, be structurally balanced, provide for cash liquidity, allow for adequate reserves, be monitored throughout the year, and amended as necessary. The Tennessee Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury budget certificate credential is only awarded to qualified cities in recognition of the hard work and commitment of the city's local officials, especially the CFO, Mr. John Alexander. Mr. John Alexander ensured the city operated with a sound financial plan at all times. And whereas under Mr. John Alexander's financial management, the city has recently earned 3 consecutive clean audits, further evidence of Mr. Alexander's budget and finance competency. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, that Mr. John Alexander is hereby recognized for his 14 years of distinguished service to the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, and that he retires from the service on the 17th day of February 2024 with our deepest respect and gratitude for his financial excellence and dedicated service. Resolved the 6th day of February 2024.
Mayor, if you come down and Tracy, if you come over, I would like to get John with the 2 signatures. This is the official document. It is signed by the mayor and the city recorder, so this is actually the resolution. Come on over here, John, you hold it.
Before we take the picture, do I have a motion to approve?
Um,
We have a
Approved.
motion from the vice mayor. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion? Thank you, John. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now it's official document.
Yes.
Before we take the picture.
You want to do the whole commission?
Yeah, yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
come on down. Oh, that's awesome.
Let's figure out a little step. They're so pretty.
1, 2,
Smile, John.
3. Yes, smile.
All right.
Yeah, that looked good in your closet.
Big county box.
All right, we'll move on to our next item of new business, Resolution 24-1653, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Southern Environmental Services to remove the underground storage tank at the Public Works facility located at 1801 Pine Breeze Road for an amount of $42,838.50 for the Red Bank Public Works Department. Mr. Tate.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. The current Public Works facility has an underground storage tank, 10,000-gallon underground storage tank that's been recently pumped out. Justin Hedrick released RFPs to have it removed back in December, and the Southern Environmental came back with the lowest bid of $42,000 to remove the tank, and this is also in preparation for a potential new Public Works facility, and this will be funded by ARPA funds for facilities improvements.
Thank you, Mr. Tate. Do I hear a motion to approve? We have a motion. Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey, was that you?
Sure.
Okay. Motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. Any further discussion?
I'm glad we're getting it removed. Thank you.
It's a great first step in a much bigger process.
It was a plan since I started with the Red Bank. Now we're planning.
And you've been here a little while,
That's right.
and
Let's
maybe
just
even
say-
longer than John.
It was a 10-year plan and we're a year early.
That's right.
All right. Do we have any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, then we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is Resolution 24-1654, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Bravo Fence Company to replace the fence at the tennis courts located at 3817 Reading Road for an amount of $36,820 for the Red Bank Public Works Department. Mr. Tate.
Mayor, once again, Justin Hedrick released RFPs for replacing the fence as part of a tennis court upgrade. And this includes all of the fence, including pickleball courts. And Bravo Fence Company returned the lowest bid at $36,820. And we appreciate Mr. Justin Hedrick's efforts in locating this company for us.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion?
I just wanted to know, it was budgeted for.
Yes, ma'am. This was budgeted.
Thank you.
Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Resolution 24-1655, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Advanced Athletic Services to resurface the tennis courts located at 3817 Reading Road for an amount of $24,980 for the Red Bank Public Works Department. Mr. Tate.
Mayor, again, RFPs were put out for competitive bids, and Advanced Athletic Services returned the lowest bid to resurface the tennis courts at the City Park on Reading Road, and this is again part of the upgrade for that facility, including the fencing.
Excellent.
And this was a budgeted item.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present?
Well, I'll just have one comment that we're pickleball mafia. This is get them all shining. Yeah, so,
Well, it's fun that it's not completely overrun by pickleball, that there still are some
yeah.
tennis enthusiasts.
Yeah, but they were packed there the other day, buddy. I mean, first little ray of sunshine, they was all out there. But
Yes.
it's nice that we have those facilities that just give them a real nice little facelift. if you will.
Shine.
A little makeup on.
New floors, new paint, new roof.
Yeah, yeah.
They already got the new lights. Yep. All right. If there are no more comments, then we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have Resolution 24-1656, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, authorizing a contract with Bailey Heating and Air to replace the HVAC unit at the Skipper Fairbanks Sports Complex located at 640 Morrison Springs Road for an amount of $34,000 for the Red Bank Public Works Department. Mr. Tate.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, through the RFP process, we were able to secure the lowest pricing for replacing the two systems at the Red Bank Boxing Complex. One thing I failed to mention in the work session, when Mr. Hedrick was working on the scope of work for this RFP, he was able to run the serial numbers on the existing units and found out that when they were put in, they were actually used units. So he's guessing that they're way over 30 years old.
Wow.
And that they were in working condition supposedly when they were put in, but this will be to replace those two units with energy efficient heat pumps.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tate.
And these were budgeted.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. Any further discussion? Just want to say thank you to Mr. Hedrick for running these down, doing the work. Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, we'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Resolution 24-1657, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, accepting a proposed donation of 2 THS-1 trailhead workstations and 2 THP-1 mounting posts from White Oak Bicycle Co-op for the purpose of providing outdoor bicycle repair centers designed and built for outdoor conditions, and which include 8 basic tools and a cradle stand for the benefit of the city, citizens, and residents who regularly ride bicycles within the city of Red Bank. Mr. Tate, I think we had Mr. Graby introduce this at our previous meeting.
Introduce this along with Bicycle Co-op, and we appreciate their efforts. And I did have a question. How do we keep people from stealing the tools?
I'll ask our chief about that. But we understand that there could be definitely some maintenance in this, and we are by these areas on a regular basis. So we're definitely going to stay on top of that and have the ability to kind of work with the city to make sure that they are well maintained.
So,
Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't sure what the actual repair station looked like. I thought maybe the tools were like connected maybe through cables to
It's
the stem?
airplane cable, which is high grade, it's supposed to be harder to cut.
Okay,
But sometimes people.
I mean, it
can be
happens.
Creative.
Okay.
But they are attached to the station.
okay.
I believe there's a bicycle repair station outside of Outdoor Chattanooga. I assume it's a similar design.
Yeah, it's a little bit, so that's a play core design. This is from the Park Tool, very similar concept, a place where you can put your bike up and then have the repair, tools right below that.
I've seen some on the Riverwalk also. I mean, they may be antiquated by now compared to what you're providing, but
Yes.
Yeah.
We also want to, we're working on a solution for a pump. A lot of times if you go to the ones on the Riverwalk and around town, a pump is a major issue that costs as much as a repair station. But they haven't quite figured out how to get them to work all the time. So we're gonna come up with some creative solutions that are a little bit fiscally responsible in order to have a pump out there as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
And when Mr. Gravy first, presented this to me, I had some questions, like how are we going to sit on tools? And, he walked me through the whole process in Public Works. I made a commitment then that Public Works would do whatever to facilitate this installation. So, might take a little digging on their part or something like that, but
Well, both of these locations are pretty high visibility and decently high
Right.
trafficked at the trailhead to the White Oak Connector and Kids Corner Playground. But not only do they have a lot of public eyes on them most of the time, but Public Works will be by pretty frequently to see their condition.
they will definitely have a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
Camera security camera.
All right.
I'll say
Do
one more thing.
go ahead.
I just want to thank the city again, for the opportunity to partner together. Last year we had a 100-mile stretch of our programming. And it is our mission to continue to support our community no matter how far we go out. And this is part of it. 2:30 this afternoon, Kat was over at Red Bank High School working with students over there. So we are actively engaging in this, and this gives an opportunity for folks, as I said in the work session, to have access to tools in order to keep on riding. So thank you again.
We appreciate your organization. I was just at
Absolutely.
Red Bank Elementary School a few days ago with Miss Kat Bolzer for a career day event. So we appreciate all of your many contributions to many far-flung aspects of our society, and the fact that you will be the first physical infrastructure being installed on our future bicycle boulevard. So again, I mentioned in the work session, you have beat TDOT to the punch for a grant that was awarded some time ago. So we thank you very much for that. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present?
Davis Gedrin, 4810 Stag Road. I'm just really excited to see bicycle infrastructure being added to Red Bank. Incredibly stoked that White Oak Bicycle Co-op is based in Red Bank and serves the Red Bank community, and I appreciate the commission for supporting them in their mission. So thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Gedrin. All right. If there are no more comments, then we'll go ahead and call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Our last item of business is ordinance number 24-1255. An ordinance of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee to amend the fiscal year 2024 operating budget beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024 in order to appropriate unbudgeted expenditures and grant funding for the general fund in the amount of $833,936 and the State Street Aid Fund in the amount of $280,000. First reading. Mr. Alexander.
Yes, ma'am.
You're still here?
I said that recently. Yes, what we got that occurred this year is we acquired 2 more police grants. We got the highway safety grant and then also a drug enforcement grant. Those are both 100% funded. And then we've had some events that have occurred this year that we've discussed, and it's like, we need to do it, and one's a police car, I forgot to mention that earlier. And that was a supply chain issue. And then we also had to replace an engine in a fire truck. That was a most economical way to do it. And we got 10,000 going to Trust the Public Land, which should serve us well. And then we also bought our newest park. And in the State Street Aid Fund, we bought a street sweeper. So these assets going on are maintaining.
Absolutely.
Any questions?
Any questions? All right, our last budget amendment for budget excellence from Mr. John Alexander.
That's right.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there are no more comments, then Ms. Kay, will you call the vote for us?
Mayor Dalton, Vice Mayor Barry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey,
Yes.
Commissioner Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkinson is absent.
All right, motion carries on first reading, and we will have a second and final vote at the next meeting. So now we have reached the time for citizen comments for items not on the agenda. Mr. Granum?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for citizen comments. Please observe these rules. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes or less, and the city recorder will operate the timer visible on the dais. Please respect her direction and conclude any comments if time expires. All comments should be addressed to the board as a whole and not to a particular commissioner, city staff, or the audience. The commission is here to listen, not necessarily to respond or engage in back and forth, so please do not expect a reply during public comment. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
All right, if there are no comments, then do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
We're in agreement.
I have
Second.
a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Can I ask the commissioners to gather and, Blake, you guys will come up with a picture for,
Okay.